All right, it's time. Let's create a post together. So the first thing we're doing is going to the web research. I'm going to explain every agent as we go through it. And I'm just going to ask it, I need the most amount of research possible on Claude co-work. So you're actually giving it direction. It's very smart. It's able to use the tool to do it. I don't even know why I said the most amount of research. You don't have to always do that. I'm just going to make sure it gets lots of information for it. The more information, the better. You could stay on this agent and keep it just researching. You can see it's calling the tool. It has web search as a tool. The research uses my style for it. So it basically is going to go over exactly what it is. Go through the initial launch, talk about what's happening with it, the details. Of course, there wasn't too much information about this actual launch. It was just like, all right, Claude co-work is out, but it's coming up with like different context for, when some of the other features came out. You can see it's just getting as much information as possible. More information is better for this step. So, if I'm like, this is not quite enough information or it's missing something, I'll keep it on this agent. And I'll keep filling up that memory bucket. It doesn't matter. Let's say if it misses something, or you're like, hey, I need more information about the mortgage rate, or like, what is the market saying, etc. Or I need more information about ingredients on dog food or toxins in dog food. You could keep it going. So it's going to research everything. For this example, maybe I shouldn't say as much research as possible, because who knows how long this is going to go. It's going to do a great job though. You can see now it's at the sources and links. I just make sure it has all the sources and links. So, in case I want to reference them and paste them in directly. And you can see at this point, it's pretty much done. It's going to just quickly refresh there. And the next step we're going to do is select agents and go to the research extraction. And I'm just going to give it a simple prompt, where you could give it angles or anything at this point, where I'm going to say, distill the research into great social media points. You don't have to directly say that. You could even just say next, and it'll understand what to do because the agent's already trained. You can see at the top, we're on the research extraction 37. So we're on that next agent. We went from 0 to 1, went down the assembly line, and let's take a look at what this is actually doing live. So you can see it's giving like top high level summaries, what to say. It's just giving it all the best information about what it should basically prioritize. This is very important when making a post because AI doesn't have good taste, and sometimes you have to give it guidance. We don't usually have to edit this, and I just let it push all that information through to push it through. If I'm not happy with the points, I'll usually just leave it, and then in the hook and post side, I'll give it a bit more guidance. So we're just going to wait for the generation here. Sometimes it'll even generate more information here than what the original research does for it, and that's completely normal. Like I said, we're filling up that bucket of the actual memory with everything that we could potentially talk about. It's looking at what are some good potential hashtags for it. It's starting to create the actual strategy, so it's less stress on the Facebook post builder. And this Facebook post builder, don't just think it's a Facebook post builder. You can do the same post on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. It's really set up so it could do kind of all those three networks too. I call it like the Facebook / Instagram one. I also have agents that will set up like carousels and all the information I need there and do all the image prompts for it. But as you can see, it's generating quite a bit of information right now. It's just streaming to us live. We can see it's done when the stop button is done, and of course when it finishes what it's thought. You can see it's once it starts to get to the URLs, that's when it's pretty much done. And it's kind of fun to watch it. It feels like you're working when it's doing all this, but realistically, we're just having AI help us with it. But there is some potential heavy lifting that we want to do for this on the next step. So you can see this is pretty much done. We just have to wait for the AI call to finish up. So you got to give it a couple seconds after it's done. There we go. It's done. When this purple icon hits, it is done. So, okay, what did we do? We went to the web research, and then we went to the one. It did reset our agent for it. That happens sometimes. That's we're going to fix that in the system, but you just have to keep changing it after that. So the next agent we need to go to is the hook creator 37. I need the best hooks. You know, you don't have to be professional in how you talk to it. It's all the instructions in the agent. I could, like I said, I could have just said next. You're not going to see it retrieving documents on your side. It's just going to come up with the hooks. It's going to give you 10 different options for it, and you can select an option for the next one. So Anthropic just turned your Mac into an AI employee that builds spreadsheets while you sleep. That's a good hook, actually. Leaked demo shows AI agent organizing 10,000 files in minutes without touching the CLI. Cloud Cowork quietly launches the first desktop AI that actually ships finished files. That's a good one. Well, ChatGPT talks, Anthropic built an agent that does work and saves the results. So those are all pretty good, you know, and it goes over what the strategy is and what you want to pick. Let's say if you want to change, let's say if you're like Matt, these hooks are horrible. You can give it guidance, not by going back on the agent, or it should normally just be on the agent for it, where you could say, no, I'll do this, do it better, you know, you can give it guidance for it. We're just going to pick hook 1. And I find AI is the worst at hooks, and typically this is the step where I step in and I'm like, no, I actually like this one better. I have a certain character count that I go for. I go for around 90 characters for it, just because it also fits a lot of my image templates and everything else. But, you know, for the demo, we'll just go to the next one. So the next is we have the Facebook post creator 37, and we're just going to select that agent. Now make a Facebook post. I didn't spell Facebook wrong, or I didn't spell it right the very first time, but it's still going to work. So this one, retrieving documents, it's not going to do this in your version with it, so it's going to be a little bit faster, but it's still extremely fast. We just made a post that's going to get us authority, and just it's following all of my methods for actually doing it and just breaking it down, what it does, how it's different, etc. on that side. So you can see it's creating the full Facebook post that we need. It's a news post. This one is the React/news. It's a very simple one. You're just informing people in a very specific way. It's breaking it down step by step. And you're going to see, you could also be like, you know, add emojis, etc. I put the down arrows because I'll usually put like a call to action for my service in the comments on the Facebook side. That's part of the meta for Facebook that works really well if you add comments for it. But it knows the hashtag strategy. It knows absolutely everything for it. So now we have the post. Post is good to go. It's a post that's going to work. It's the easiest one. It's React News. You know, we're not even on Listicle or AI tools, but it just took care of everything. And feel free, if you want to give it feedback, like say, I want more emojis. You can see it's going to absolutely crush this thing with emojis. Sometimes too many. You have to be very careful what you say to it, because it thinks it's doing you a big favor, creating a ton of emojis for it. After this, I'd be like, too many emojis. You know, you definitely don't want to. It went crazy on emojis for it. So, you know, you could give it, you can see the call to action to get a comment. What workflow would you automate first? I'd also put something in the comments too, where it's like some clickable link to my website, etc. on that side. Now what we want to do is, next step, we want to create the actual image prompt for it. So you can see we selected that, create the image prompt for this post. Bam. Very simple. It's going through professional. In this, you can see some of these, they'll get very detailed. This is based on, so my wife does a lot of image generation. I've done absolute tons of image generation. It'll come up with a great picture for the actual post. You post that into any image generator, like Dreamina, for example, and you have an image ready to go. Like I said, you want it to be 1:1 or ideally 4:5 aspect ratio, and you could select those in the image generators, and you have yourself an entire post that is ready to go. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Definitely join the VIP session. The VIP session, we're going to be creating a ton of content. I'm going to pull people from the audience and make content for them live. I'm making these agents better and better every single day. So keep trying them. The whole goal, what I want you to do over the next 30 days, create 30 pieces of content, and you'll see, you know, your first one may not get much reach, but once you get that consistency, and you saw it, how long did it take us to do that? I don't even, how long has this video been recording for? I can't even see right now. Let's take a gander. It's only been 10 minutes. 10 minutes and you're ready to go. 15 minutes max. You create a piece of content that can get you a ton of eyeballs, that is then going to get more eyeballs on your offer and get a client. You know, and what did that cost? You make 30 posts, it's $1 per post. If you make 100 posts, it's 30 cents per post that you've created. So definitely use these agents. Of course, I'm always looking for feedback for them too. At the same time, I'm just making them better and better on my side, but that is how you use the agents. Make sure you switch for each one. And yeah, definitely attend the web class. And if you bought VIP, you get a replay to it, so you'll be able to watch it directly there, and a replay for the VIP. So if you missed everything, but you got the My Expert Studio, you can just go and watch all the training for it, where we're gonna break it down. Of course, I broke it down into even more detail for this. There's no chance I'd be able to go through all of this stuff that we went through in all these videos during the web class and even the VIP, but you know, watch as much as possible so you just understand how all this is working. Create some posts, get yourself some clients in 2026, and then with these posts you could do something as simple as just putting additional ad spend into it. You could boost these posts. You're going to get a lot more reach from it. You'll get like 100 times more reach from a post that's done really well organically. So I hope you enjoyed the training. Go off, make content, tag me in it if you want, or tag me in the comments. I'd love to see the stuff you're making, or just DM the content to me. I'd love to see it. And yeah, enjoy.